Going against human nature is the start of your comeback. A secret the successful rarely talk about. I've discovered a truth that makes 99% of people instantly fall silent. Think about your biggest regrets. The chances you missed. The detours you wish you could undo. Did they happen after you chose the easier, more comfortable path? The one that seemed more normal and acceptable? Sit with that. Really sit with it. Each of us comes with a factory setting called human nature. In the distant past, this system helped our ancestors survive and reproduce. The craving for high-calorie food helped store energy. Fear of danger kept us away from predators. The urge to fit in kept us from being cast out of the tribe. But in today's world where material abundance collides with spiritual burnout, this ancient system often becomes the biggest drag on our progress. Your human nature craves comfort, avoids pain, and seeks instant gratification. Yet every higher-order reward in this era, wealth, wisdom, deep relationships rests on delayed gratification. Facing pain head, 1. And long-term thinking. See the conflict. If you want to rise, you're aiming for what only a minority will ever have. But you're still running the same comfortable code followed by the majority. How could that possibly work? So the essence of a combat isn't learning some shiny new skill or catching the next hot trend. It's an inner revolutionary war against your own default wiring. You must learn to go against human nature to earn outsized returns. In this video, we'll talk about the core logic that those who truly break through class ceilings would rather die than disclose. How to defy your nature and engineer an upward reversal in your life. I know the phrase going against human nature sounds harsh, even extreme. But give yourself a moment. I'm not urging you to become a feelingless machine. Quite the opposite. This is about reclaiming the steering wheel of your life, refusing to be hijacked by inborn patterns that no longer fit the modern world. More importantly, I'll show you how to betray these instincts step by step and strategically, turning them into rungs on the ladder you climb. It's simple but incredibly effective. It will help you convert what you hear today into real muscle memory, so that the next time temptation or hardship appears, you choose the right thing, not the easy thing. How do you go against human nature? I break it into 6 laws. First, resist instant gratification. Let's start with one of the most common human traps: instant gratification. Your brain runs on an ancient reward system driven by dopamine. It tells you if you're hungry, eat if you're tired, sleep if you're bored, scroll your phone if you're stressed, play games. It chases pleasure that's immediate and effortless. So on nights when you should be studying, you open one short video after another and suddenly it's 2 a.m. On day 1 of your diet, a slice of cake captures you with ease, and you suit yourself with "I'll start tomorrow." You turn your paycheck into the latest gadgets and a pile of pretty clothes instead of investing in learning that might not pay off for years. This is human nature. It's not your fault, it's our factory setting. There's a classic psychology study, the Stanford marshmallow experiment. Researchers gave each child 1 marshmallow and said, if you can wait 15 minutes without eating this, you'll get a second one. Years later, follow-ups showed that the kids who could wait for the second marshmallow generally did better in academics, careers, and relationships than those who ate it right away. The experiment lays bare a harsh truth. Only those who can delay gratification win the future. So the first step in going against human nature is to actively resist drowning in present tense pleasures. This doesn't mean living like an ascetic. It means seeing clearly that every easy hit is borrowing against your future. The high of short videos mortgages your capacity for deep thinking. The high of junk food mortgages your health. The high of impulse shopping mortgages your financial safety. So what do? Link pain to payoff. Turn delayed gratification from raw endurance into a favorable trade. If you need to study for an hour, stop thinking this hurts. Don't you want to? Rehearse this instead. Studying 1 more hour today makes me 1% better than yesterday. Over a year that compounds powerfully. Not buying this useless item lets me invest the money. In 10 years it becomes real wealth. Make the bigger, Future marshmallow vivid, let it glow so it becomes your lighthouse against immediate temptation. Build small rituals. You can't fight powerful instincts on willpower alone. Willpower depletes. Use ritual to flip the switch. Before tackling hard work like writing a report, don't just dive in. Spend 5 minutes tidying your desk, brewing tea, putting on noise-cancelling headphones. Tell yourself, okay, this next hour is deep work time. The world can wait. That tiny ritual is a psychological toggle that eases you into the anti-instinct state. Cut off temptations at the source. Human nature doesn't pass tests well. The best tactic isn't to keep testing it. It's to remove the test. If you're studying, leave your phone in another room. If you're dieting, don't stock snacks at home. Like Odysseus binding himself to the mast to resist the sirens. Admit your weaknesses and use environment and tools to constrain yourself. That's not shame, it's wisdom. Remember, everything that truly improves your reading, training, deep thinking is naturally anti-instinct. It is strenuous. It's not fun. Turning your life around is exactly this. Trading short-term pain for long-term gain. Once you begin to savor the high reward or joy that delayed gratification brings, you're already ahead of 90% of people. Second, resist the path of least resistance. The second stubborn flaw of human nature is our bias toward ease. Our brains are master energy savers. By default, they pick the path that's most familiar, effortless, and comfortable. So you'll spend 3 hours bouncing among apps handling trivial but simple bits of information. Yet won't spend 1 hour on a difficult professional book. You'll keep doing the work you've already mastered for a steady paycheck, instead of taking on a project full of uncertainty that could trigger massive growth. We often numb ourselves with the performance of effort. We look busy, but we're just spinning inside our comfort zone. That comfort is the gentlest poison to growth. What truly transforms you always lives outside that zone. Educational psychology has a concept called desirable difficulty. Learning and growth aren't about making things as easy as possible. You need the right amount of challenge and friction for knowledge and skill to take root. Fitness works the same way. You have to lift a weight that feels a bit heavy, your muscles tear, then overcompensate and grow stronger. If you only go for casual strolls every day, your body won't change. The second step to going against human nature is to actively and deliberately seek out and tackle those desirable difficulties. In the film Whiplash, the young drummer Andrew is pushed by his devilish instructor Fletcher to break through speed limits until his hands are bloody. That approach is extreme, but the anti-instinct logic behind it holds. No madness, no metamorphosis. If you never push yourself to that almost too much edge, you'll never know your potential. Ordinary people don't need the brutality, but the principle is universal. How do we apply it? Define your edge competence. Audit your work and life. Find a skill you kind of have, but haven't mastered. That borderline is your best training ground. If you're a copywriter great at short pieces, but weak on long-form structure, your desirable difficulty is writing deep articles over 3-0 words. If you're a developer fluent in business code, but shallow on core algorithms, your desirable difficulty is solving one hardly code problem a day. Turn challenges into a game. Human nature retreats from hardship, but lights up for games. Recast tedious challenges as level ups. Set clear stages and tangible rewards. Finish a mind-bending book and treat yourself to that long-awaited movie. Complete a tough project and take a short break. Bind pain tightly to immediate rewards. Use human nature to outsmart human nature. Build a feedback loop inside the comfort zone. Feedback hardly matters, everything is predictable. In the challenge zone, feedback is your eyes and ears. After you write an article, ask a pro where it falls short. When learning a new skill, enter competitions or take tests to see where you actually stand. The worst is blind, closed-door effort. High-quality feedback is a mirror that reveals your gaps and makes every struggle count. Stop indulging in the illusion of effortlessness. Every moment that feels a bit hard, a bit uncomfortable, a bit brain-melting isn't torturing you, it's shaping you. Each voluntary step outside your comfort zone is energy stored for your future comeback. Third, resist self-absolution. The third bug of human nature is a powerful self-protection mechanism. When we mess something up, the brain rushes to keep us from sinking into "I'm bad" or "I'm useless" by launching a blame-shifting protocol. It wasn't my fault the market was bad, just bad luck. Others didn't cooperate. The method was flawed. We're born defense attorneys, always able to craft perfect excuses for our failures. In the short term, this self-forgiveness protects our fragile self-esteem. In the long run, it robs us of the most valuable chance to learn from failure. If you can always forgive yourself, the market won't and neither will life. The third step in going against human nature is to stop acting as your own defense attorney and become your own chief prosecutor. Learn to review every failure with cold, even ruthless, honesty. Ray Dalio, founder of the world's largest hedge fund Bridgewater, champions a principle in principles pain plus reflection equals progress Pain is a signal that something's off. It tells you to stop and reflect. He even built systems inside the company so everyone can publicly evaluate one another's mistakes, precisely to counter our tendency to hide errors and beautify failure. This process is profoundly anti-instinct, because it forces you to face your own foolishness, short-sightedness, laziness, and ignorance. But only then can you locate the real root cause and avoid falling into the same pit next time. How to run a high-quality, ruthless review. 1. Factual neutrality. At the start, avoid any emotion-laden or subjective language. Don't say, "I stupidly missed that opportunity." Say, "On date, the market showed signal A. I chose action B instead of action C. The outcome was D." Detach and record like a referee noting data. Sticking to objective facts is the first step to avoiding the traps of self-criticism or self-defense. 2. Root cause drilling file-wise. For the direct cause of failure. Ask why 5 times in a row. Why did this project fail? Because delivery was delayed. Why the delay? A key module got stuck. Why was it stuck? The responsible teammate lacked experience. Why assign an inexperienced person to a key module? I thought the task wasn't hard and wanted to give a chance. Why did I misjudge it as not hard? I didn't thoroughly assess and forecast the technical difficulties before kickoff. After the 5th why, the root shifts from teammates' incompetence to my decision error. That's an effective review. 3. Build an error log. The faintest ink beats the strongest memory. Record the lessons that truly belong to you after each review. This isn't a pillory, it's your most valuable personal asset. Before any major decision, scan your error log for similar contexts and reusable lessons. It dramatically improves decision quality. A person's growth speed isn't about how smart they are. It's about how fast they learn from mistakes. Stop indulging and coddling yourself. Every failure is a paid course in cognitive upgrading, and the tuition is your courage to face pain. Only those who dare to be hard on themselves can move through the real world with ease. 4th, resist hard approval. Humans are social by nature. For our ancestors, leaving the group often meant death. So the genes that crave approval and fear isolation are etched deep into our bones. Today, that instinct shows up like this. We default to buying what sells the most. We pick majors and jobs that are hot, the ones everyone's chasing. Before voicing an opinion, we scan the room and hesitate to dissent. We fear being different. We fear being the outlier. This longing for group approval gives us safety, but it also sands off our edges and strangles creativity. Real opportunity is never where the crowd is shouting. When everyone is sprinting in the same direction, that path is usually pick clean or even a trap. Whether in investing, entrepreneurship, or personal growth, true breakthroughs come from independent thought and judgment. So the 4th step in going against human nature is to break free from group gravity and learn to enjoy, even deliberately choose high-quality solitude. This doesn't mean cutting off all social contact and becoming a recluse. It's a mental posture, the ability to mute outside noise and tune into your inner voice. Schopenhauer put it perfectly. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone. In groups we play roles: son, husband, employee, friend. We wear masks, speak politely, and do what others expect. Only in solitude can you strip off the armor and converse with your real self. What do you truly want? What do you genuinely care about? Where do you want your life to go? The answers to these ultimate questions surface only in solitude. How do you cultivate deliberate solitude? Create a solitude space, daily or weekly. Block off uninterrupted time, an hour, an afternoon. During it, turn off your phone and computer, and see no one. Walk or sit in a quiet cafe. Stare out the window at home. This boundary clears mental room so deeper thoughts usually drowned by busyness can rise. Filter your inputs. We live in an era of information overload. News, gossip, and takes flood our minds and erode independent judgment. Actively curate what you consume. Unfollow outlets and influencers that peddle outrage or junk. Replace Twitter. Scrolling with reading classics. Replace skimming 100 headlines with thinking deeply about one question. Your inner life needs the same careful nutrition as your body. Practice inversion. When an idea or opportunity is wildly popular, build an anti-instinct habit. Pause and ask, what's the opposite case? Where are the risks? What if everyone is wrong? Charlie Munger, profiled in * Poor Charlie's Almanac *, is a master of inversion. Invert. Always invert. This mode helps you spot blind spots others miss and seize chances they never see. Remember, every great invention, every disruptive thought is born in solitude. When you dare to take the road less traveled, you may lose applause and approval for a while, but in the end, you stand to win the world. 5th, resist emotion-driven decisions. The 5th fatal weakness of human nature is being driven by emotion. Our decisions are often not the product of meticulous logic, but are swayed by primal feelings: fear, greed, anger, envy. Have you ever blurted out words in a moment of impulse that you later deeply regretted? Bought a stock at the peak of mid-market frenzy only to be trapped in a heavy loss? Hidden a problem that should have been surfaced early because you feared a boss's criticism, which then snowballed into disaster? Those are emotions making your choices for you. Our brain's wiring ensures that the amygdala, the hub with emotional response, signals faster than the prefrontal cortex, which handles rational analysis. Under stress, we feel first and think later. A person who can't govern their emotions can't govern their life. Emotions are like a wild horse. If you don't tame it, it will carry you over a cliff. The 5th step in going against human nature is to build a rational firewall between stimulus and response to become the master of your emotions, not their slave. Warren Buffett exemplifies this. His famous line, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful," reflects an extreme ability to counter emotional drives. When markets are euphoric and greed is in the air, he sees risk. When markets are panicked and wailing, he sees opportunity. His success as the Oracle of Omaha isn't about predicting the future. It's about overcoming human greed and fear. A truly mature person has emotions, but is never ruled by them. That is top-tier wisdom and a prerequisite for a genuine turnaround. 6th, resist mental laziness. We've come to the last and most fundamental anti-instinct law. Resist mental laziness. What does that mean? The brain, like muscle, follows use it or lose it. Yet our nature is to avoid thinking. We prefer ready-made conclusions over deriving our own. We prefer simple labels for complex things instead of probing underlying mechanisms. We prefer leaning on past experience instead of updating our beliefs to match new conditions. This shortcutting may seem harmless in daily life, but it quietly locks the door on your potential to break upward. Today, the most basic gap between people isn't access to information, it's depth of thinking. Given the same data, some only see the surface while others see the trend. given the same problem. Some think of standard fixes while others imagine disruptive solutions. That difference comes down to whether you're willing to think deeply. So the sixth step in going against human nature is to fight mental laziness on purpose. Train your thinking the way you train a muscle. Elon Musk is a classic example. He repeatedly stresses first principles thinking. There are two ways to see the world. One is reasoning by analogy, copy what others do, which is mental laziness. The other is first principles, break things down to the most basic, immovable facts and axioms. Then we build upward from that foundation. When he set out to build rockets, he didn't ask, how do we make existing rockets cheaper? He asked, what are rockets made of? Aluminum, titanium, copper, carbon fiber. What do those raw materials cost on the market? Only about 2% of a rocket's price. So the problem had to be in manufacturing. He decided to build from scratch, cut costs by 90%. And disrupted the entire space industry. That is the power of deep thinking, costly in mental energy, profoundly anti-instinct, but it delivers unrivaled insight. So how can ordinary people practice deep thinking? 1. Make ask and chill the bottom a habit. Don't accept any conclusion too quickly. For any claim, run at least 5 whys. Like in a post-mortem, if someone says, short-form video is the biggest wave right now, ask, why is it a wave? Which upside is it? What edge do I have? Is it too late to enter? How long will this wave last? Asterisk. Once you thought those through, your decisions won't be blind bandwagoning. 2. Do theme-based reading. Don't settle for scattered, random books. Pick a theme: communication, investing, or IOI, and spend 1 or 2 months reading the 5 to 10 most essential books on it. Back to back, you'll see different authors frame the same issue from different angles and sometimes contradict one another. That forces you to compare, discriminate, and synthesize until you build your own 3-dimensional, robust mental model of the topic. Use the Feynman technique. Learn by teaching. After you pick up a concept, explain it in plain, simple language to someone totally outside the field, your family, even a child. You'll instantly spot what you didn't really grasp and where your logic breaks. This output drives input loop is the acid test of real understanding and the best antidote to the I kind of learned it illusion. Physical laziness reshapes your body. Mental laziness reshapes your life. In a fast, changing world, your invincibility doesn't come from what you already know, but from your capacity to keep acquiring high-quality understanding, and that capacity rests squarely on deep thinking that resists mental laziness. How is that? If you've stayed with me till now, I'm sure you've gotten a lot out of this, because the content is dense. Let's do a quick recap of the 6 anti-instinct laws. Resist instant gratification. Trade delayed gratification for longer-term happiness. Resist the path of least resistance. Real growth happens only at the level of desirable difficulty. Resist self-absolution. Turn ruthless postmortems into step that upgrade your cognition after every failure. Resist hurt approval. Dare to embrace deliberate solitude, so you can hear your real inner voice and find your own path. Resist emotion-driven decisions. Build a rational firewall. Be the master of your emotions, not their slave. Resist mental laziness. Train yourself to think deeply, and widen the fundamental gap between you and the crowd. I know each of these 6 roads is hard. They ask you to give up easy comforts, face your weaknesses, endure spells of loneliness, and fight your inborn impulses. This journey is full of struggle and pain. But here's the truth. A comeback has never been easy or pleasant. It is, at its core, a war with the self. If you felt ordinary in the past, it wasn't because you didn't work hard. It's because your effort ran along the grooves of human nature. You used tactical diligence to hide strategic laziness. Today, you've seen that real change begins within. These 6 laws aren't about hating your nature. You can feel it. They're about understanding it, then transcending it. Like a skilled rider, You don't kill the wild horse, you study its instincts and, with technique and will, you rein it in and harness its power. We are born human, equipped with an ancient operating system called human nature and also granted a higher permission called free will. You can let the old system run on autopilot toward mediocrity and regret, or you can use your free will to deliberately and bravely reboot your life script. Psychiatrist Ian Scott Peck opens the road less traveled with a line of deep wisdom that I offer to you and to myself. Life is difficult. This is a great truth. One of the greatest truths. Its greatness is that once we truly understand it, we transcend it. The same goes for the combat path. It runs counter to the world and against human nature. Once you truly accept that, congratulations, your comeback has already begun. Thank you for staying to the end. Every video on this channel is crafted with care. I hope it helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.